Star Trek Into Darkness is the most frustrating thing since my last bowel movement.
How painful is painful?
The movie, heading into its 10-year anniversary, was on my must-rewatch list. The hope going to the movie was that, like some things, specifically media, it would age better.
Because I'm an idiot. Happy?
Perhaps my perspective it would change, or I'd find a new level of respect for it. Unfortunately, my opinion of it pretty much remains the same: undeniable frustration. In all honesty, it may come as a surprise that I enjoyed the 2009 Star Trek film so much. It was one of the first movies I ever attended at a critic screening, and one of those trailers I watched over and over. I was delighted by the bold casting decisions, the great special effects, and the decision to make a different universe. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Was it the Trek I grew up with? No, not really. Regardless, my expectations for Into Darkness were far too high, and as the movie came closer to being released, dropped little by little. On paper, a lot should work. The returning cast is great.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I only know what I can do.
With everyone doing such a good job of filling such iconic shoes. I've always been impressed by what Chris Pine has done with Kirk, and felt he did a good enough job homaging what Shatner did, whilst also making it his own. The additional cast for the movie, including Benedict Cumberbatch and Alice Eve, was beyond welcome, even if J.J. Abrams made a pretty dumb decision lying to the audience in regards to his intentions with Khan.
It ended up, I think, coming off like we were being coy, or we were trying to act like we were more clever than we are or something.
We would also get RoboCop in a Star Trek movie, which is pretty awesome. The special effects were once again top-notch. Everything should have worked, and it really didn't. None of it really did. Director J.J. Abrams would return to direct Into Darkness. I was a big fan of what J.J. Abrams did for the first Star Trek movie. J.J. has a clear love of cinema, in particular what he grew up with, and that's shown up in a lot of his work. Just maybe too much. Star Trek 2009 felt like a good salute to the old, without generously borrowing heavy from what it is. See The Force Awakens. I expected a similar approach to Into Darkness, with him continuing on perhaps new villains and some maybe new characters. Unfortunately for us, JJ stumbled upon a few playbooks and decided to unwisely use everything from them. It's absolutely no secret that Into Darkness is heavily borrowing from 1982's The Wrath of Khan. This much has been said from the usage of Khan, the loss of a main character, and a few other little tidbits. J.J. Abrams and company, including my least favorite Alex Kurtzman, forgot what made Wrath of Khan so darn good. The Wrath of Khan was a sequel to the motion picture, but also a sequel of sorts to the, at the time, massively growing cult following that was the original series.
I'm alone.
It was characters we had spent seasons with, growing and learning to love. We had this attachment to them, but even more than that, we had an understanding of where they're coming from. Kirk is growing old in Wrath of Khan. Time is taking its toll, and he's become a desk jockey of sorts. The days of exploring the galaxy and banging beautiful green women was in the rear mirror. In a lot of ways, this, as well as the overarching theme of Kirk's inability to accept losing, come hand in hand. The lust to win is most prominent at a younger age, and the thought of being fearless are ever prominent. The stakes increase when you get older, when you have more to lose, and you aren't quite what you once were. We can all feel this pulsing throughout the movie, and to his credit, William Shatner does a great job of portraying it in a way that makes it feel organic.
You're hiding behind rules and regulations.
Who am I hiding from?
From yourself, Admiral.
Unfortunately, in borrowing so heavily, Into Darkness fails to grasp the humanity that Wrath of Khan used so beautifully. Throughout the movie, we are plagued with Kirk's failings, such as the opening scene where he loses his command and perhaps loses his spot in Starfleet.
They've taken the Enterprise away from you.
However, this is all negated in literally no time as Kirk is let off the hook to be joined by his new captain, Pike.
That I believe in you. that if anybody deserves a second chance, it's Jim Kirk.
The scene later, we lose Pike in a scene that I'll admit is pretty damn emotional. And in a moment's notice, Kirk is now the captain of the Enterprise. Kirk is once again struck with the no-win scenario at the end of the film when he swaps places with Spock to sacrifice his life. This lasts a whole 10 minutes of Spock and Khan running through the streets before Kirk is magically saved. The fear of losing and the thought of losing are merely just subjects without any source of gravity to them.
Please, sir. I'll do anything you want.
Pine is still a young man, and it doesn't carry the significant oomph that the at the time 51-year-old Shatner did. In short, the heart that made Wrath of Khan so universally loved isn't in Into Darkness. I noticed this issue with J.J. Abrams' take on the Star Wars universe as much as I did in the Star Trek universe. In the Star Wars universe, we are being told the grand scale of the universe, but everything feels insignificant and small. Nothing feels explored or wide in scope. It doesn't feel as vast as space should feel, in particular when you have such advanced civilizations. Ironically enough, this problem returns in Into Darkness. The Enterprise is sent to stop Khan by going to Kronos, the Klingon homeworld. They stop at the neutral zone and send a shuttle to go stop Khan. However, doing all this, the ship nor the shuttle are intercepted by any Klingon ships. It also makes it seem like the neutral zone and Kronos are within minutes of each other.
Is that a problem?
This problem would once again return for the final battle between the Enterprise and the Dreadnought cruiser as they're battling in our solar system. At this point, Earth has developed tons of ships, as we have seen previously, and space stations, none of which are patrolling this part of space. The Enterprise and the Dreadnought are falling into Earth orbit, but where are the defense systems? No defense systems around the Starfleet home base? Nothing? All this makes the universe feel so much smaller and really removes any sense of reality or stakes.
Shit.
You'd think there would be tons of ships around, space stations, or other ships just trying to stop them, but there's nothing. The Enterprise crew also makes a point to say that they can't relay for help and contact Starfleet.
Contact Starfleet. Tell them we were pursued into the neutral zone by an unmarked Federation ship.
Comms are down, sir.
However, later in the fight, Spock reaches out to old Spock, a welcome surprise to see Leonard Nimoy one more time for his insights towards Khan. So they talk to Spock from afar, but can't reach the nearby Earth for help. It just doesn't make any damn sense to me, and honestly removes me from the stake of the action. Into Darkness had a villain the entire time in Admiral Marcus. Marcus was hell-bent on militarization of Starfleet for its protection against whatever foe, presumably the Klingon Empire. We have seen this before with talks of Section 31, and we got it on the big screen here. I honestly like the idea, as you'd probably be battling over the purpose of Starfleet and the Federation in the future. A true peacekeeping armada, or the protection of your people. It's something we deal with in our day-to-day life, and surely something that would probably still be there in the future. The villains just don't stop there with the addition of John Harrison, aka Khan, aka Bendy Cumberbatch. Cumberbatch is a terrific actor, and truthfully, he's pretty darn good in this movie. However, he didn't have to be Khan. He could have truly just been this new villain, this John Harrison type, a misunderstood or perhaps rogue Section 31 officer under Marcus's command. In a way, that's kind of what happened, and therefore, outside of J.J. Abrams just trying to be a cheeky bastard, that's all this really is. The focus could have been on Admiral Marcus, with RoboCop being the true villain. A military tactician against an inexperienced, hell-bent on revenge Kirk, who learns that revenge gets you nowhere, and perhaps also learns losing is a way of life. A thoughtful message could have been wonderfully written into the battle.
I haven't faced death. I've cheated death.
Similarly to what we saw in Wrath of Khan, instead of this jumbled mess that we end up receiving. Listen, Star Trek Into Darkness isn't a bad movie. When I think bad, I think of Steven Seagal rolling around trying to convince the world he's a super secret ninja soldier military general when he's just a goofy idiot. Star Trek Into Darkness is instead a frustrating movie with a gigantic budget, a talented cast, and a lot of misplaced energy. It would have benefited from a script doctor and a better sense of where the message need to be. Starfleet's hopeful exploration versus Starfleet's want to protect itself in any way, shape, or form. The idea, it's there, but it's baked behind unnecessary screaming and shit blowing up. 10 years later, it's still a frustrating mess. If you want to hear me talk more about Trek, click on this video here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.